This is the Google Pixel 8, a compact flagship that brings a pure Android experience and plenty of AI-based software features. So what sorts of new goodies do we get with this year's Pixel? I'm Will for GSM Arena, and let's find out in our Pixel 8 review. The Pixel 8 has a higher launch price than last year's Pixel 7, but it also has plenty of upgrades that could be worth it. The phone packs Google's new Tensor G3 chipset, which is more powerful and efficient, as well as a brighter, higher refresh rate display. The Pixel 8 also brings some changes in the camera department, and a larger battery capacity. Right off the bat though, you may notice a change in size. The Pixel 8 is built around a smaller display than its predecessor, and is even more compact. The Pixel 8 has smaller bezels this time around, and the chassis has rounder edges, making the phone slightly easier to handle. The aluminum side frame has a soft, matte finish. The back is made of Gorilla Glass Victus, and you get a familiar design, the horizontal, visor-shaped camera housing, and a glossy back finish. Just like last year, the Pixel 8 is IP68 certified against dust and water. The display is a 6.2-inch OLED with a 1080p resolution, a 120Hz refresh rate, and Gorilla Glass Victus protection. This 120Hz is a nice step up from the 90Hz on the Pixel 7. Swiping and scrolling look plenty smooth, and the screen will dial back down to 60Hz when idling to save energy. I mentioned that the max brightness is improved this year, and it's really quite impressive. We were able to achieve over 1000 nits maximum with the manual slider, and this could boost to over 1400 nits in auto mode when exposed to bright light. That makes the Pixel 8 one of the brightest phones around, excellent for use outdoors. The display looks good too. It's sharp, the contrast is great, and the colors can be quite accurate. The Pixel 8 also has support for HDR10+ video. For audio, there's a stereo speaker setup here. The loudness is very good, and the sound quality is good too, with enough bass and clear vocals. I'll drop a link so you can check it out for yourself. The Pixel 8 has an under-display optical fingerprint reader and is quite reliable. And when it comes to storage, you can get the phone with 128 or 256 gigs on board that isn't expandable via microSD. Only with the Google Pixels will you get the pure Android experience exactly as Google intended. And the Pixel 8 also has the newest Android version out of the box before anyone else, Android 14. Cosmetically, it's the same as the previous version. There are a few new features worth mentioning though. For example, the lock screen is much more customizable. You can also create your own wallpapers, with plenty of main styles to work with and prompt combinations of words and colors. Android 14 also gives you the option to choose a regional language, but use a different measurement system and date format. And there's a new privacy feature. When sending images to someone, that app won't have access to your whole gallery like before. Android 14 also supports lossless audio with wired headphones and 10-bit HDR images. On to the Pixel-specific AI-based features. Live Translate is even faster now. Its interpreter mode can translate a conversation in real time, if that language is supported. The call screening feature, where the Google Assistant can take a call for you or transcribe robocall options, is also better and faster this year. Thanks to the Pixel's AI, you can easily extract text from apps or even images. Finally, there's a new, more powerful Magic Editor within the Photos app. It offers advanced functions like removing objects from the photo and changing the sky. And last but definitely not least, Google promises both OS and security updates for the next 7 years on the new Pixels. That's more than any other smartphone maker. At the heart of all of these features is Google's Tensor G3 chipset, based on a 4nm process. It brings both a new GPU for improved graphics performance and Google's Titan M2 chip, which handles the AI-related tasks. With this new chipset, the Pixel 8 is clearly more powerful than its predecessor, both when it comes to the CPU and the graphics. However, it still falls way behind current flagship competitors running on a Snapdragon 8 Gen 2. As far as the raw numbers go, it's more on par with last year's flagships. Google stresses that it tries to optimize its devices instead of ramping up performance, and the Pixel 8 does do a great job in day-to-day tasks. Still, this may not be the best choice for heavy gamers. This is further reinforced by our results when it comes to thermal management. In our prolonged stress test, the Pixel 8 displayed significant thermal throttling, which included some sharp dips. The Pixel 8 has a larger battery capacity than the previous model, 4,575 mAh versus 4,355. Even so, the battery life hasn't improved. Rather, the endurance rating is less this year, with the Pixel 8 earning an overall score of 83 hours. However, if you just look at the numbers for screen on time, the results are about the same as last year. Charging has been improved from 20 watts to 27, and the charging is a bit faster but still nothing special, with the Pixel 8 able to top up from 0 to 56% in half an hour. There's also support for wireless charging. Now let's get into the Pixel 8's cameras. On the back, there's a 50 megapixel main cam and a 12 megapixel ultrawide cam. The main camera uses the same sensor as last year, but has a brighter f1.7 lens, and the ultrawide, which is borrowed from last year's Pro model, has autofocus here. Because of pixel binning, the main cam's photos come out at 12.5 megapixels by default. During the day, the photos are great. They have plenty of detail, and while there is extra sharpening, the rendition of fine details is generally nice. The look is contrasty, with somewhat dark shadows, and the colors are well saturated. There's a 2x zoom toggle, and though it's a crop from the main cam, it's done well. Some fine details in the foliage may come out a bit frizzy, but overall the definition is good. Portraits use a 2x zoom by default, and the subject comes out with good enough detail and sharpness if there's plenty of light. The subject detection isn't the best though. We saw some imperfections around the edges here and there. In low light, with the night mode enabled, the Pixel 8's main camera does a nice job. There's a well-balanced exposure that both protects the highlights and lets you see things in the shadows. The white balance is also quite dependable. Detail is generally very good, though there are instances where certain textures may get smoothed out by the noise reduction. If you were to go without night mode, darker scenes will end up with a dim and gloomy look. Better lit scenes, on the other hand, wouldn't come out all that different. Video quality out of the Pixel 8's main camera is very good. The detail is great, dynamic range is nicely wide, white balance is on point, and the colors are likable. The electronic stabilization does a great job at removing the shakiness too. 4K videos taken with the main cam at night have a good level of detail and wide dynamic range. There is some softness though. Now we have the ultrawide cam. Its daylight photos maintain the same tonal properties as those captured on the main camera, and the detail is very good. It's better than the ultrawides on most competitors. And since the ultrawide has autofocus, you can use it to take close-ups and macro shots, and they look great. In low light, with the night mode active, the ultrawide's photos have nice exposure and good dynamic range and colors. These shots are rather soft though. And here's how it looks without the night mode. 4K videos from the ultrawide are decent. You have solid colors, contrast, and dynamic range. The detail level could be better though. Selfies come from a 10.5 megapixel front-facing cam, and you get 2 zoom levels, with the phone defaulting to a slightly zoomed-in frame. The images have good detail, though the zoomed selfies are slightly softer. So there you have it, the Google Pixel 8. You get a premium compact build, a bright 120Hz display, great camera performance, and a unique software experience with 7 years of support down the line. It isn't perfect though. The charging speed and battery life aren't impressive, and the chipset performance falls behind competitors. But all things considered, it is a significant upgrade, and despite the price hike, it's still competitive, especially for US consumers. So if you're looking for a vanilla Pixel or a compact flagship, the Pixel 8 is worth recommending. Thanks for watching guys. If you're looking for other options besides the Pixel 8, you can check out our reviews of the Apple iPhone 15 and the Samsung Galaxy S23. Let us know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.